Welcome back, everyone, to another All Wrestling Review. So, I'm back again for another episode. So, what am I going to be talking about today? Is there going to be anything positive for me to talk about? Well, other than mostly the women's stuff from all different kinds of promotions, I don't know what else I can really bring up here. There was a match I really wanted to watch that took place on Stardom, but Stardom did not put this match on their YouTube. I don't know why they didn't. The one match I was intensely looking forward to when I found out that Anna Jay was in the blue block in Stardom, she was going to take on one of the Australian wrestlers that wrestles over there, and her name is Xena. That was one of the matches I was so looking forward to, and they did not even show it. They didn't even have the footage. They didn't show the video on their YouTube, and I was so bummed out about it. It was the one match I really wanted to watch. Mainly because Xena is Australian, and I've seen her work in Japan. She's very, very good. So Xena took on Anna Jay, and I had to look up the result because no one had the footage, or no one had, no channel seemed to have the match anywhere on YouTube, so I had to just look up if anyone knew the outcome, and the outcome was a loss for Anna Jay. Now, Xena is Australian, so I may be a little bit biased here, and I will say I am okay with that, because Xena is Australian and she's a real hard hitter. The match was so good, and that's why I'm so mad about this not being shown, because this match was said to be a really good match and fans really loved it. Anna Jay posted a picture of herself all bruised up. Her chest was bruised up. She got an ice pack, and she said that she doesn't care about winning and losing. All she cares about is giving it her all, and that is what is important. It doesn't matter if you win, it doesn't matter if you lose. All that matters is if you put on your best effort, and I think that's exactly the right attitude you should have. Wins and losses should not matter. And Anna Jay had a great showing, from what I've heard. I'm hoping the footage can get aired. I'm hoping some channel airs the footage somewhere so I can actually watch it. But there is one other thing I want to talk about here, and I saw a press conference of Giulia talking about her final match. And I actually watched this yesterday, so I just thought, well, since I watched it, I may as well bring this up on this review. Giulia had a press conference talking about her final match, and she's taking on a girl named Mai Sakura, someone that she admires, someone Giulia admires. She's like a rising star. She's like a young star on the rise, and she wanted to work with her. She wants her. I'm guessing Giulia is doing the honors and putting over superstars as she goes out, because that's kind of how you kind of have to do business. If you're leaving the business, that's kind of if you're leaving a certain organization and then you're going to another one, like your whole thing is that you're supposed to, put over the people on your way out. So I'm assuming Giulia has been putting over certain talent as she's preparing to finish up her dates in Marie Gold. So she's most likely going to put over this other girl named Mai, and as the conference was wrapping up, several other young Japanese, I guess rookies or newbies, all confronted her, and they all wanted to wrestle her, and she didn't know what to say. She had that look on her face like she can't believe that more people want to wrestle her, despite that she announced August 19th will be her last match. But they've organized a gauntlet match. They organized a gauntlet match on August 25th for Giulia to wrestle for 1 minute against all these other girls that requested to wrestle her. So, you know, that's kind of honorable of Giulia. I think that's pretty honorable of her. She could have just said no. She could have just said, no, I'm done after August 19. But she was honorable enough. She was honorable enough to finish, to stay an extra week just to give these other girls, a chance to do something. And I think that's a very honorable thing for Giulia to do. Now, yes, I am looking forward to Giulia coming to WWE, but I really do not have any faith in WWE to book her strongly. They may book her strong for the first few weeks, but then maybe after that she may start falling down. Because we all know that's kind of how WWE does things. When they introduce someone, they'll start them off strong and then they'll knock them down the card. But Giulia is a really big name from Japan. They should not mess this up. Especially Stephanie Bakula as well. So let's talk about AEW. Let's talk about what transpired on AEW. I don't really want to talk about SmackDown because SmackDown was kind of lame and I didn't really care about it all that much. But to summarize, there was only one thing I cared about on SmackDown. So I'll quickly talk about this before we go to Dynamite. Oh, sorry, not Dynamite. Rampage and Collision, because there's two things I want to talk about on Collision. So, on SmackDown, there's only one match that I cared about. That was Naomi versus Blair Davenport. Blair Davenport won the match, and they were in Orlando, Florida, Naomi's hometown. And of course, fans were complaining that Naomi lost. Now, to be fair, I would be upset if Naomi lost. If it wasn't to someone I actually don't mind. Blair Davenport, I don't mind. So, to me, Blair should have beaten her the first time anyway. But, you know, this community, you know, they always have to take things so literal. And Blair Davenport won this match clean. Won the match clean with a knee strike to the face. With a vicious knee strike right to the face. And fans are complaining about her losing in her hometown. And someone made the argument that not everyone should win in their hometowns, because if they always won in their hometowns, it would make the matches predictable. And you know what? I can actually see that. I can actually understand that point. I can actually understand that, because if you were to go to the hometown and all they did was win, like imagine if Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae won the tag team titles in Australia when logic-wise wouldn't have made sense, you know? It logically might not have made any sense, but they could have just given them the titles just because they were in Australia. It's the same thing with Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. Like, they had them win just because they were in Australia. They were in Scotland. That would also mean Piper Niven and Drew McIntyre would have won their respective matches. And that would also mean Chelsea Green would have won Money in the Bank. So I can actually understand where they come from when someone says that people shouldn't always win in their hometown. So I can get where they're coming from in that perspective, because if hometown heroes always won, the matches would be very, very predictable. So I can agree with that. So anyway, on the AEW now, Rampage only had one thing I really wanted to watch, and that was Saraya's promo. Saraya had a promo. Mainly Harley Cameron did most of it, but then Saraya took over. And Harley Cameron, she is hilarious. She is hilarious. She's the comedic goof, while Saraya is just the gruffy, serious person that just wants to get... And Harley Cameron would a lot of the time repeat some of the stuff. Like, it's like she's like a parrot. She's like a parrot. Like, she'll copy what Saraya is saying, and she was like so close, and she was saying it so loud in Saraya's face. Saraya turned around at her at one point, and she's like, "You're yelling in my ear!" and all that. It was so funny. Like, Saraya and Harley I know people don't like Saraya, but you cannot lie to yourself and say that this duo is great. You cannot say these two are not a good pairing. Like, Harley bounces off Saraya so well, and Saraya bounces off of her so well. She's like Saraya is so serious, while Harley is just the comedic one. Like, this is something WWE would do. Remember when they had Billie Kay try to join the Riot Squad? It's sort of similar to that. Like, Billie Kay was the goofy comedian, while the Riot Squad were just, you know, themselves. That's what Saraya is. Saraya is being herself, being all serious and herself, wanting to have a match in Wembley, while Harley is just being the comedic idiot. She's just being the comedic idiot, but being comedic in a good and funny way. And then Toni Storm would come out, interrupt this promo, and Toni would give Saraya a gift, a birthday gift. And that birthday gift is a championship match on Dynamite for the Women's Championship. And I'll definitely be tuning into that, because I think that has definitely got my eyes, that has definitely got my attention. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing Saraya and Toni Storm go at it. And no, Saraya should not win the title days before Wembley. I love Saraya too, but no, she should not be winning the championship right before All In. We should not be changing the match from Toni Storm versus Mariah May to Saraya versus Mariah May just because Saraya needs to get to Wembley. I'm pretty sure they'll probably still have her on the show in some other capacity, like an open challenge, or she might just come out, cut a promo, and then maybe someone like Jamie Hayter returns or something. We'll have to wait and see. But no, Saraya should not win this match. Despite how much I don't mind Saraya as much as others, no. Toni Storm should retain, and Toni Storm should only drop the title to Mariah May. Speaking of Mariah May, she had a match on Collision. She beat up an enhancement talent. Can't say I'm a fan of these enhancement matches, but I also understand they just want to get this over with quickly. So Mariah beat this jobber really quickly. Toni Storm then cut a really, really good promo. She was like it's like she was doing another film in black and white, and she was talking about Mariah May and all that, and it was really good, and Mariah got angry, and she started beating up the jobber with the shoe, with Toni Storm's shoe, and started smacking her across the head with it. Great stuff there. And another thing that took place was Britt Baker versus Harley Cameron. Surprised Saraya wasn't out there, but you know, I guess maybe that could be for the best. She's focusing on her match on Dynamite. So Harley Cameron and Britt Baker actually had a solid match here. I thought these two had a decent match. You know, I feel Harley Cameron has really come a long way, and I think this whole pairing, in my opinion, I feel like this pairing with Saraya has really helped her in a way. And it's really helped, and I think this pairing with Saraya has really helped her. In my opinion, anyway. It was a decent little match. Britt Baker put, like, her glove on, like, as if, like, she was signaling for her little submission, but she never ended up doing it. She, decided to be Seth Rollins and deliver a curve stomp on Harley Cameron to score the win. But to be fair, she's always been doing it. So, she's always been doing that. So I guess it's not that big of a surprise. So as Britt was celebrating her win, Mercedes Moné came out alongside her bodyguard Camille. Britt Baker then grabbed a kendo stick, tried to hit Camille with it. Camille overpowered her and then snapped the kendo stick in half, showing how incredibly powerful and dangerous this Camille girl is. This is my first time actually seeing Camille, and she woman-handled Britt Baker and destroyed her. They're pretty much building her. It kind of gives me Shawn Michaels and Kevin Nash vibes, or even Shawn Michaels and Psycho Sid vibes, these two. But Mercedes Moné was just watching on the stage. She eventually came in the ring, put her high heel on the back of Britt Baker as she raised her TBS Championship up high. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, I've seen this other thing about another girl I actually like, Layla Gray. She's kind of doing some kind of weird gimmick now. A flight attendant kind of gimmick. I can't say I'm really a fan. She went from being a baddie with Jade Cargill to now passing out flight attendant? Being a flying attendant? Flyers about flying? I don't know. I've seen pictures of it, I've seen small clips of it, and I'm just like, nah, this ain't it. This ain't it for me. Like, I can't say I'm a big fan of this new thing they're doing with Layla Gray. Can't say I'm a big fan. And also, one final thing before I wrap things up. I know I said I'm not going to cover Ring of Honor because I didn't know if I could cover it. But I did find a clip on YouTube of Athena that happened the other day, which because the video said 1 day ago. So it happened yesterday. So I was like, well, I'll watch this and then I will include it in here. So Athena was cutting a promo. I guess she was Athena, known as Ember Moon for everyone who forgot. She basically was cutting a promo about, I guess, no one being better than her, or she's afraid of no one, and then AEW's resident horror girl, Abandon, came out and confronted Athena, and Athena pretty much fled from her, pretty much ran away from her. Oh, I'm pretty sure all the fans that don't like chicken shit heels are gonna be happy about this one. Oh, the Athena I know wouldn't have ran away. That's what heels do. That's what heels are meant to do. So yeah, it's what it is. So it is what it is. So yeah, I thought I'd mention that as well, since I did at least see that. So that is the end of this All Wrestling review. And let me know your thoughts, and I will see you all in the next video.